Hello and welcome back to another one of Paul's beer reviews. Hope you're doing well. Today I have got a Kolsch to review for you this evening. I believe this might be the first Kolsch I've actually reviewed on the channel, and it's probably the most iconic example of a Kolsch. It's from Fruh, and it's from the Colner Hofbrau Fruh in Cologne of Germany. And this is a 4.8% ABV Kolsch. Now, what is a Kolsch? Because as I say, I'm not particularly familiar with them. I am a big fan of German beers. I don't know too much about Kolsch. What I have been told is it's something of a hybrid of a kind of an ale and a lager. It's brewed traditionally using ale yeast, and then often during the lagering process, or the sort of the cold storing process, lager yeast can often be added, making it a slightly more complex, often slightly fruitier kind of lager, essentially. I think it's kind of like a German take on an English pale ale. That's what I understand about it anyway. So it's a 4.8. Ingredients, what's it say on the bottle? It says water, barley, malt and hops. I picked this particular bottle up in Morrison's. I think I paid £2 for it, something like that. So not too bad at all. 500ml bottle. There is the bottle cap. Quite a handsome one, I must say. I do like that. So yeah, let's quit waffling. Let's get this beer out of its bottle, into a glass, see if it's any good. Now straight away, got a whiff from the bottle there. It did smell quite fruity. Now, this is apparently supposed to be quite a light looking beer. It's certainly that. That there. Leave the bottle there. I've got a little bit of carbonation clinging to the glass. Let's give that a bit of a dink. So there we go. Gold, slightly hazy, very well carbonated. The carbonation rushing up on that one. Spacious white fluffy head, which isn't hanging around. That's popping away, desperately shrinking down the glass. Let's get the rest of this bottle in there. Sharp it up. But yeah, this looks like another beer that's going to be perfect for the weather. It's been another warm day. The UK heat wave continues. But look at that. Cracking carbonation on that. And I say there's definitely a slight haze to this golden Kolsch. It looks lovely. Let's get me snouting, see what the aroma is telling us. And there is a subtle sort of fruity, slightly sort of brown bready, malty character to the aroma. It sounds like a touch of grape. Brown bread. Oh, smells pleasant. Smells nice. I'm going to get stuck in. Cheers. Ooh. Oh, I really like that. That is it in the spot. It's got a really drying, slightly herbal finish to it. And it lingers. And it's making me just want to go back in for another swig. It's light in the body. The carbonation is quite considerable on the palate. It's a touch of citrus. And straight away, that sort of slight bitterness, pepperiness, dryness comes in. But there's a sweetness from the malt. There is definitely a very slight, almost like a fruit bread. What they call that? Like malt loaf. Malt loaf, that's it. Like a malt loaf flavour. It's like a fruity, bready kind of flavour. Excuse me, it's gassy. Do apologise. Oh, it's wonderful. Lovely light body. Excellent use of carbonation. It's really throwing around that sort of fruity, bready flavours around my palate. And then just as your palate's acclimatising to that, in comes this dryness, this pepperiness. Slightly herbal touch. And it's glorious, but you're still getting that fruitiness. You're still getting that touch of fruit, that dark fruit and malt coming through. And it balances itself out with that dryness and that bitterness at the back end. And it just makes you go in for another swig. Oh yeah, that's hanging around. That dryness, that pepperiness, it's really hanging around. But it's balanced beautifully with the malt. Oh yeah, man. I love everything about this. How's it taken me so long to drink this beer? It's ridiculous. That's an absolute worldie. That's an absolute classic. I do like it when you get a good beer. When you get a new beer that you've not had before, and it turns out to be an absolute work of art. Again, look at the conditioning. Always a sign of a good beer. Fantastic conditioning on the beer. I mean, I don't know how long this has been sat on the supermarket shelf for. The best before is February of next year. Quite how long it had been sat on the shelf at Morrison's for, I don't know. But the conditioning on it is absolutely superb. It's wonderful. Love the colour, the aroma. Not the strongest. It's a very light, like I say, that touch of sweetness, that malty, sort of fruity, malt loaf. And there is a bit of citrus, almost like a bit of lemon and lime coming through. And it's kind of, it's a little bit of a hint at what you're going to get at the back end, because that's where it comes through. That's like touch of sort of grapefruity, citrus, bitterness. Comes in really quickly, actually, that peppery dryness, that bitterness, touch of citrus bitterness at the back end. I feel like it's actually developing a little bit in the glass now. But it's definitely malt loaf, sweetness, a touch of sweetness, dark fruit sweetness, bready malt, and then this lovely, slightly citrusy, drying, spicy, peppery, dry finish that just makes you go back for the next swig. Oh, the Germans make a bloody good beer. They really do. I think I'm going to add to Cologne to my list of places that I need to visit and drink beer. My trip to Germany is becoming bigger and bigger. Can't wait. That's a stunner. That is a stunner. That's available for a couple of quid in Morrison's. That, I think, may end up becoming one of my go-to beers, especially when the weather's like it is the way at the moment. It's hot, it's sweaty, it's humid. That has that balance of subtle sweet malt and dry sort of peppery finish is perfect. It's refreshing as hell. The carbonation on the beer is enough to kind of give it that crisp word that's often used to describe sort of lager type beers. It does that. It refreshes you absolutely brilliantly, and there's enough balance and enough complexity to it for it to be quite a rewarding sort of lager-esque experience. It's a wonderful beer. Excuse me, it is gassy though, but never mind. Sod it. I like that enough to give it a 10 out of 10. I think this is a bit of an eye-opener for me. Kolsch, the Colner Hofbrau Fruh with their Kolsch. That's a wonderful beer. That is a wonderful beer. That's a 10 out of 10 for me. I hope you've enjoyed this review. I've really enjoyed doing it. Give it a thumbs up if you have. I do appreciate it. Until my next one, you take care.